My name is Francis. The piece you're going to see is called The Last Clown. It was made over a period of more or less 5 years. The Last Clown was based on a small kind of anecdote, an incident that happened when I was working with a friend of mine, a curator, Cuauhtemoc Medina. We were working actually in London, in Hyde Park, and it just stumbled, like tripped over something and fell. And the discussion kind of deviated into the relation between art and humor, art and laughter, if you want, and the whole aspect of the artist as the kind of last great entertainer. And the way the art industry as such is moving more and more towards the kind of entertainment industry. As it often happens in my work, the pieces are generated by minor events of everyday life. Probably between that incident and the actual starting of a project, there might be 3 to 5 years of just sleeping. And that's part of the reason why there's so many mediums involved in the making. This animation was at first thought as just a kind of sequence of paintings that would tell that story, a bit like comics, if you want. The animation itself is much more an anecdote. It could be reduced to a simple anecdote where the loop effect makes one trapped always in between two falls. On the tables, what you have is simply just a display of all the drawing part. I'm using the tables because it's probably easiest and the closest way to the studio situation where all the images are kind of like overlapping. I've tried to illustrate the obsessive, that obsessive dimension where you will see, 50 different attempts to resolve the figure of the dog or the right kind of like character of the dog. The same thing could happen with the kind of moment where the tail of the dog is getting around the foot of the clown. I think you've got actually here one sample of the actual animation. The archive you see here is everything but the animation in a sense, except for this one which must have been unused for the final shooting. I think that the paintings is again like a very simple storyboard where you would have introduction of the first character, the dog, introduction of the clown, the encounter, the accident, or the meeting, if you want, again. The accident about to happen, the fall, and the introduction later on in the animation of the laughter, which was trying to kind of fictionalize a little bit the moment and dramatize it. The fall, and again, the walk, etc. This, as you can see, is a much earlier version because the dog is still following the clown, so there was not yet this kind of idea of this chance encounter. The possibility of trying to recreate the whole creative process before the product is probably the most lively moment of the piece. I often see the painting or the film as more like the evidence of a whole process that happened before. So, I don't know, for me it's just it's in a sense where the essence of the work happens, and it's very difficult for me to dissociate the two.